Hi you guys, this is Jennifer Palfini, your Pampered Chef Independent Consultant. And I just wanted to go live today because I just kind of wanted to show you like something easy to do in the kitchen that I do often when I have odds and ends of food around. Let me just move back a little bit. So this weekend we did a live and we used the grill and I also used the quick cooker and I made some hard-boiled eggs, but I don't know if you saw the live. You should really watch it. It's really funny. Adriana was with me and I ended up cracking about 8 eggs. They fell off. So anyway, I have all these eggs left over. I've got some egg whites and the first thing I'm thinking about is how do I not waste these eggs? So I go to always my mainstay, which is kind of make an egg bake or quiche or whatever you want to call it. I guess you call it a quiche if there's a crust. I call it an egg bake because I don't use a crust. And I've got all these kind of odds and ends in the kitchen that I'm going to use, which I think are going to be just really easy to throw something together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the, I'm going to set the oven for like 375 degrees and get it to warm. Adriana was so when I did a go live on Sunday, Adriana had a major meltdown about not going outside and not hitting bubbles, and I kept cooking, and it was kind of a decision I had to make in the moment as a mom. Like I was going to stop my go live, but then I thought, well, that's not real life, because if I were cooking in my kitchen, I wouldn't stop. I would kind of work around it and let her work out her little meltdown, which I did, and then involve her when she was a little bit more calm. So I did. So today. So today she's preoccupied, so we should have an okay go live. But this is life in my real kitchen, you guys. I've got a refrigerator full of things that are either expiring or that I need to use, and I really just don't like to waste anything. So I'm going to go ahead and make this egg bake. And so I'm going to start off with 2 eggs that had cracked. Like I told you, all the eggs cracked, and then I have 2 more that are partially cracked, so I'm going to put those in there. Now, the one thing I don't have, let me just sit in here 1 second. Let me grab something, okay? I always have a discard bowl handy, so I can just throw discards in there. So, like my eggshells and things like that. So I got 4 eggs. I think I'm going to do like 8 eggs. So I have some egg whites here, so I'm going to add those in. And I think it's like, I think it's 4 egg whites actually, because one recipe called for 4 egg yolks. So I've got about 8, so I've got about, like 4, 6, 7, 8 eggs probably in there, I think in total. So, and I'm going to use cream, so that's whipping cream, so that's going to kind of amp it up a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to put some seasonings in here. So I'm going to go grab some seasoning. And I'm going to grab some Italian seasoning because it has garlic, oregano, basil, marjoram, herbs, and spices, and I think that'll be really good with the egg bake. I'm actually going to use also my leftover remains of my Easter ham for my meat component, so I'm not going to add any salt because my ham is going to have a lot of salt in it. I'm going to use an onion that Adriana started cutting up on Sunday. She kind of took it apart, so that was kind of cool. She actually talked about peeling layers of the onion. She peeled layers of the onion. Adriana and Lex are in the background using the air fryer. And you guys, we use the air fryer like every single day. So when those are back in stock, I will let you know. Hopefully we're going to have those in May or June time frame. But we've got a lot of high demand for air fryers right now. And we use ours. We don't have an oven. We don't have a toaster. We don't have a toaster oven. And we use that much more than we ever used our onion now with that. So anyway, what I'm going to do here is I also have, let's just review the ingredients. I've got eggs, I've got some tomatoes, I've got some really nice heirloom tomatoes I'm going to chop up. I've got some peppers, some cheese. I have some remaining garlic bread from from some pasta dish I made earlier in the late last week. I'm going to use that. And I've got cream, and I've got various cheeses, like I said. All these leftover cheeses are going to go to use now. And then also, I'm going to put super veggie in it because I can add more vegetables to this egg bake easily, and it'll be a great way to get a couple of more cups of vegetables in here. I forgot to turn off my notifications on my phone. Okay, well hopefully I don't get interrupted. Okay, so, oh, you want a tomato? Here. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. You want to pick one yourself? Yeah. Yes.
Hey, do you want a potato?
No, tomato. Tomato. What do we learn about tomatoes? They're a what?
They're seeds.
Yeah,
And
makes,
vegetable.
That's right. They're a fruit and vegetable. And so, because there's seeds in them, it makes them a fruit, right?
Hey, eat it.
We're watching the show Waffles and Mochi, and it's so super cute. It's a really good educational program for kids. I highly recommend it. So anyway, I'm just going to whip my eggs up first so they're all nice and mixed. Again, I have egg whites in here, regular eggs. So this isn't going to be like an overly eggy egg bake, because I have a lot of whites in here. I have four full eggs and 4 egg yolks. So yeah, I've got a total of 8. Because I had the 2 that were broken, the 2 in the container that I already had in the bowl. And I'm just doing this in my large batter bowl with Whisk. Really simple. I'm going to throw some Italian seasoning in here. And I'm not measuring. I kind of just do things like what I think they might be good at. So I'm just going to put that aside for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and cut up some onions. So I'm going to use my manual food processor. If you guys know me, you know I use my manual food processor all the time. I love it. And since these onions, Adriana already peeled these onions. Remember you peeled the onions on Sunday? She's eating a tomato right now. I peeled the onions on Sunday, so I'm just going to throw those in here. And I'm really just going to quickly just give them a couple pumps and just get them all nicely diced. Thanks for your help. You're helping making this because you did this. Yeah. Adriana really likes to help. A great way to get your toddlers engaged with what you do is get them involved in the kitchen. Let me just line that up. Okay, so we got our onions are all nicely diced. I'm going to take those out and put them in a bowl because I'm going to do some. That's good. And again, you guys, this is just odds and ends in the kitchen that I have around. Here's our onions. Adriana loves tomatoes, which is great. She really loves vegetables, and I think it's because we're exposing her to all these vegetables all the time. And cooking in the kitchen definitely helps with that, because they're just used to it. There's no like presenting of the food that this is this or this is that. It's just sort of a given that there's going to be different things at the table, and we're going to eat them. That's one thing that's working for us as being parents, is exposing her to all different kinds of things. So you can see my onions, how quickly I chop those up. I'm going to put those on the side for a second. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut tomatoes. I wanted to see if this would work because I've never done it with a quick slice before. But I'm just going to chop up some onions, some tomatoes, and put various tomatoes on there and put those in the bowl too. And I'll show you how I do that in a second here. Just going to pop the extras out. The mini skinny scraper is so great for getting like the odds and ends out of things. If you hate to waste like me, I just don't waste with some of these tools. Ah, we got that one stuck in there.
Almost done. Yeah.
So I'm just going to put a couple of, make sure you can see. I'm going to put a couple of tomatoes in there. And I'm just going to slice them a couple of ways. I like lots of color when I make egg bakes. So I'm just going to pop these. See how nice that cuts up, you guys? Oops, I'm not lined up. I need to be lined up. There we go. So I'm going to go that way. Let's see how easy that was to slice those. But then I'm going to pop them on this way and slice them again, turn them, and slice them again. So that way I got some really nice pieces there, okay? So that's my tomatoes. I don't want to overdo it with tomatoes because the thing about tomatoes I've learned is I don't take the seeds out, so they tend to be a little bit more liquidy, and they'll add more liquid into the mix. I think think I'll do a few more though. I'm gonna get some nice red ones in here. My tomatoes are on their way out, so this is a good way to use things that are on their way out. Let's throw things in an egg bake.
I'm eating them
Like
too.
that. Go that
I'm
way.
eating them.
These ones are really juicy. And go like that. Now I could have done this in my manual food processor, but I feel like it might have made it too liquidy, and these are just giving me the right kind of consistency I want in my tomatoes. Again, I really didn't know what this would do. I just decided to try it out. I feel like you could experiment a lot in your kitchen. You have a lot more fun in your kitchen if you do. Okay, so there's tomatoes. So let's go ahead and get some peppers. I don't know about you guys, but I buy this big bag of peppers from Costco every 2 weeks, and I use all the peppers because I use them in like tacos. I use them in things that I'm making. And I just like having all the colors around. Packaging is always so hard to open. So I'm going to use some orange one. I'm going to use some yellow, I think. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to slice them off on the side. Just like that, really easy. And I'm going to cut them into slices like this. I'm going to go this way. And just like my tomatoes, I'm going to go the other way then after that. And that is that way. And I'm going to pull them out and go the other way. And get some nice bites. I think peppers and tomatoes are really important things to put in your egg bakes because they just open up the flavor and make it pop. So now I've got onions, tomatoes, peppers. I'm going to do one more side of the pepper. I think I'm just going to continue with this yellow one so I can just use the whole yellow. And just pop it in there like that. Pop it that way. Nope, I'm not lined up. You gotta be lined up on the quick slice when you're cutting things. I'm not lined up. Let's start this again, okay. Like that. I'm still not lined up. I got something stuck in here. Hold on a second. Oh, I see. You got a whole thing stuck in here. Let's try that again. There we go. That way. And then I'm going to cut the other way. This way. There we go. And pop those in there too. Yeah, I would normally not do so much yellow, but it's going to be very yellowy. Well, the cheese will be orange, so that'll be okay. And again, I'm just going to scrape this out, pop these through with this mini skinny scraper. It's a great tool to have in your kitchen for sure. Okay? You guys, I didn't really have a plan on how I was going to do this. I just kind of grabbed a bunch of things. I'm probably going to eating along the way because I just went on a walk. So I'm hungry. Okay, so we got peppers, tomatoes, and onions in here. So I think we're good there. So next we're going to take our mix here. And I'm going to add, next one I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my ham. I don't know if I can cut ham in the quick slice, but I'm kind of tempted to try it because this ham's really soft. So, should work. Let's see if it works. It does work. So there, I'm cutting the ham now. I could slice the ham in the manual food processor, but I think it'll be a little bit too mushy. Okay, so here's my ham. So I'm gonna put my ham in here. And get some more ham. I think I got a nice chunk here. I think this is probably too big. Do this piece and this piece. I don't want to do too much ham because ham is going to be really heavy on the salt. So, but I want just a little, I want some meat in it too. I'm going to go ahead and cut it this way. And there we go. There's our ham. Okay, so we got our diced ham and our diced tomatoes and peppers and chopped onions. So we're all good with our fillings for our quiche or egg bake, whatever you want to call it. Which is going to make a really nice, tasty idea for breakfast. I need fast things for breakfast because we're always seems like we're in a hurry for breakfast. So there. Okay, now I'm going to add some cream to it, and I'm actually going to chop some cheese up. I've got some leftover cheddar here in slices. So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop that up. Actually, you know what? I think I'll use the quick slice for that too, because I think that will be easy to chop that up that way. So I'm gonna go this way. Like that. And then my quick slice is wet, so it's not the ideal situation. You probably should have rinsed it off first. Things you learn when you go live. I'm just gonna push it through the other way. And turn it around, slice it again. Actually, truthfully, I really don't need to slice it again, I suppose. I'm just gonna put it in here so it's separate because I'm gonna top it with the cheese. Again, I'm just using cheese that I have around. Slice here, slice there. That gets, I don't waste anything.
Now, where is the egg?
I got some stuff in here too that I'll get out. So the good thing about the quick slice too is like all the remains kind of come down into the bottom, and I could just use all those too. The remains meaning more food, of course. My oven is preheated, so that's good. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and dig this cheese out with my mini skinny scraper, which again, how handy that is to not waste things. That's pretty much it, you guys. So we're gonna have our cheese in here.
Oh, look at it, baby. That's so silly.
And by the way, if I was using a manual food processor and if I wasn't gonna use all this stuff, it has a lid with it, so I'd be able to put a lid in it and just store it in the fridge really easily. I can't see who's... Oh, hi Phil. Hey bro. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm gonna, I have some shredded cheese, but actually I think I'm gonna shred a little more cheese. I have some white cheddar that I'm gonna use. I think the ham and cheddar will go together really well. So I'm gonna use my adjustable grater for that, which folds in half like that, makes it really easy to use. And I'm gonna pop my cheese into my holder. Just gonna cut a chunk of it off. This is my tomato knife I have around right now, so I'm gonna use that. And I got 2 stacks here, so I'm gonna put that in here. And it has little prongs in it to hold the cheese, so I don't have to worry about getting cut or anything like that. And then I'm gonna put it in the holder here. I'm gonna hook it on. Let me push back a little bit. I'm gonna hook it on to the blade, and then I'm just gonna shred it really easily. This is gonna be my extra cheddar cheese. And you really don't waste any cheese because all the cheese comes out. As you can see, there's no cheese in there. It all shredded, which is great. Because again, I don't like wasting anything. Okay, so that's my cheese. I think that'll be good enough. I'm gonna make my bake about this size, which this is our Stoneware, you guys, and this is the medium-sized baker. It's 2 quarts. So I'm gonna make it in my Stoneware because I just love making these in the Stoneware. I think it just turns out really nice. And while I don't have to, I'm gonna go ahead and butter it because I think butter is gonna make it even taste better. So I'm just gonna grab some butter and butter the inside of it. I don't use any more nonstick sprays in my things. I could use olive oil because I do have a spritzer and maybe that's a better idea. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna use my spritzer because I think that's a better idea. So this is my kitchen spritzer, which just has canola oil in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use that and spray the inside of my pan, just like that. Oh, I forgot to secure it. Let's try again. I'm just gonna spray the insides of it and the sides. Really easy. Again, this is canola oil and this is our kitchen spritzer. So I'm not putting any chemicals into my food. It's really important to me that I do that. Okay, put the rest of the cheese in here. If you guys see me do demonstrations before, you know I love my handy scraper, and that's why. Just gonna gather all this cheese together off my flexible mat. It easily moves around the kitchen, and just pop it in there for now. I get every little bit of that cheese in there, no waste. Okay? I'm getting excited. Okay, so my next step, I'm not going to use this butter, I'll put this aside. My next step is I'm going to take my mix here and I'm going to shake up some whipped cream and pop some whipped cream in it. I should measure it. I'm probably going to do about, it's going to end up being about a cup, I think. I might need to do a little bit more. Just mix that in. And then actually I forgot one more thing I wanted to do is I wanted to take that bread I have and cut that up. So I'm going to go ahead and use this garlic bread, which is going to add like just more flavor into it. So I'm just going to take my chef's knife and just quickly cut my bread into some small cubes. I'm going to do really small cubes because it's going to be a small quiche and I don't want the bread to overpower everything. So it's kind of going to be like my bottom layer, which is going to give it that firm, like kind of bottom. Okay? Again, leftover garlic bread around the house. Sometimes I'll just use regular bread, whatever. This is really one of those things that you just do whatever you have around the house and make it work. This isn't like, there's many different ways to do this. Okay, so I got my pan here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put my bread on the bottom. Just gonna give me that nice base. Okay, I have a little bit more bread here. All my bread, and then I'm going to take my mix here. Again, I said I'm not putting any salt on it because I don't want to do that, and I'm just going to kind of layer everything in here. I'm going to mix this up a little bit. Where's my minuscule scraper? Just going to mix this around a little bit so I got the onions and the peppers and everything all kind of mixed. Actually, I'm going to do it in my, I'm going to mix it. Make sure I got a good blend going. I feel like the important thing about when you make this is getting a good mix of flavors so that you don't get anything that's too powerful than the other thing. Okay, so we got our ham, our tomatoes, our onions in there, and our peppers. So we're just gonna mix that around like that, and I'm just gonna like layer it on top of the bread. I hope you can see that. Can you see that? Where to move back? I'm gonna layer it on top of the bread. Can you see that? Yeah, you think you can. Let's see. Okay.
Is that how I do it? Yeah. Can you show me that again?
So you can see I got a nice coverage of all the goodness there. This is gonna last in our house for like maybe 2 days. My husband will love this. Okay, so we got our ham, we got all that stuff going on there. Next, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our, you know what I'm actually gonna do? I'm gonna put a layer of cheese in the middle, and then I'm gonna do cheese on the top. Cheese in the middle. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and do the eggs. And I'm just gonna pour that egg mixture on top. Which again, this is just 4 eggs, 4 egg yolks, whipping cream about a cup, and some Italian seasoning. Use this scraper for that. So I'm just gonna pour it on so it just covers all the way across and it'll just soak in. Oh, this is gonna be so good, you guys. I think. I've really not made one of these that isn't good. I think the extra add of the garlic bread though this time is gonna be so good, so yummy. Okay, so you see we have it all in there like that. And then I'm gonna top it with cheese and we're gonna pop it in the oven and that's gonna be just about it. So I'm just gonna top my cheese on the top. Oh, that's a clove. This is my ham from Easter, so it's kind of a clovey flavor too. It's gonna be interesting how all the flavors work together. I'm excited to see how this turns out. So I've got my different kinds of cheddar on here. And that's it, you guys. I'm gonna pop it in the oven. And I'm gonna pop it in the oven, I think, for 40 minutes, but I'll make sure I check it. I'm gonna kind of stay around it. I have my oven at 375. Okay? So there we go. You can see what it looks like. It's gonna go in the oven like that, and we'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. I'm gonna pull it out of the oven. Let's open the oven. I wish you could smell all this awesomeness coming out of the oven right now. But first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my cake tester and release and just check it and make sure that it is cooked actually. So let's go ahead and do that. I put it in here for about 35, 40 minutes. So I'm gonna stick this in the middle and see how it's coming out clean. I don't want it to dry out, and I know that when it's in the stoneware, it's gonna continue to heat up a little bit more. So I definitely want to pull it out at this point. But you can see it's coming out clean. The great thing about this cake tester and releaser is you're not using a knife for it. And you can tell very easily if stuff is cooked or not. And it also has a releaser on the other side, so if I want to release it on the edges here, just to make sure it's got a good release, I just go all the way around and release it. It says cake tester and releaser, but you can use it for a lot more than cakes. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull it out of the oven. By the way, these are great. If you're looking for a full coverage mitt, I can't tell you how many times I burned my arms with smaller mitts. These are really, really great, and they're great and easy to grab things with too. So, here we go. And as I sit it down, it's gonna settle down and it's gonna fall a little bit. No, I guess you can't see that. Hold on a second. Let me move this back a little bit. So you can see, okay, you can see that now. So yeah, so it was really puffy, and now it's just gonna fall a little bit, and it'll probably fall a fourth of the way at least. I'm watching it fall as we talk. So again, I'm just gonna release it, and I'm just gonna show you how great this stoneware is when it cooks up. See how I popped it? See how easy that is, you guys? That's the beauty of stoneware. It's gonna fall more. I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes so we can see how much it's gonna fall. I'm just gonna sneak a taste. I'm gonna get a spatula to cut it. Ooh, that tastes really good. Yum. So I have a tiny, this is our mini spatula, stainless steel spatula, and I find it to be the perfect thing for this. I know, I'm breaking rules, I should not be cutting this yet, but I just want to show you how easy this was and how yummy this is going to be. And quite frankly, I'm pretty hungry right now. So let's go ahead and just take a bite out here. It's always awkward getting that first piece. It's not sticking, so that's great. And there's my piece. And there we go. Get all scrapings. And by the way, when you use metal on stoneware, it's okay. You don't have to worry about it. I personally like to use metal on stoneware because I just think it's so easy to get stuff out. Okay, it's very, very hot. But as you know, I cannot wait, so I must take a bite. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Oh, I just got a bite of tomato with the pepper with the onion. And the garlic bread. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is a winner. How easy it was to make, you guys. I made it in about 20 minutes and it cooked for about 30, so under an hour. You get a gorgeous quiche, egg bake, whatever you want to call it. Like this, that you can cut up, have for a brunch, or serve throughout the week and freeze it. Maybe not freeze it, maybe refrigerate it. I don't know if you'd want to freeze it because I would fear that it might leak too much with the tomatoes inside. But I don't really know. This is all kind of a guess today, so just take another bite. Yeah, see how that's all nice and cooked there? You wouldn't want to cook it any more than this, and I cooked it for about 30 minutes. That bread. It's almost like a panzanilla. Filtered, I just got a bit of ham and the whipped cream. Oh, it's so good, you guys. All right. Oh, I forgot to mention. So I did forget to put the super veggie in. And I'll do a separate posting on this, but I actually did put 4 scoops of super veggie in. So it has 4 additional scoops of vegetables in here, servings of vegetables. So what I did was I put another egg out there and about and about probably like 1/4 cup of whipping cream, whipped it up and then threw 4 tablespoons of the super veggie in here. And so that is in here too. And the only thing it did is made it a little bit darker. And the super veggie, so you know, has mushroom powder, pumpkin powder, parsnip powder, broccoli powder, and cauliflower powder. So this has an extra 4 servings of vegetables in it, you guys. You can't get your vegetables any easier way than this. 4 extra servings, and I totally forgot about it because I'm tasting it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about to taste it. You can't even taste it. And then what I did, I poured that on top, and then I added a little bit more cheese. So that's what I did to kind of compensate for me forgetting to put this in, because I really wanted to put this in and understand what it would do to the flavor. I'm going to say if anything at all, enhance the flavor, or it's nondescript flavor, because I can't tell that there's that extra boom in there. So 4 extra servings of vegetables are in this as well. All right, you guys, have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Let me know what you think about this in the feedback below. Bye.